Good morning. I'm having my coffee. I'm tired and I'm sick. But I was lying in bed saying I don't want to get up because I'm tired and sick. And it's Easter. I figured, well, if Jesus is going to rise, I better rise too. Blasphemy early in the morning. So I got my coffee mug. It's my favorite coffee mug. Anyway, today we're going to... This one was originally, I thought, going to be for the brothers. But the more I thought about it, actually it isn't. It's for any young men, boys actually, and it is how professional sports and I'll just say music, not rap, but rap is disproportionately so, aspiring to become a professional athlete or a famous musician, let's say that, whatever genre of music, how it's actually devastating to black boys, but more so all boys, I think, in general. Let me tell you a story. Back when I was a kid, there was this friend of ours. Well, he wasn't really a friend. He was kind of a prick. Actually, he was a big, huge douche. He's a fucking asshole. And I found out, not only did he never make it into professional sports, he got divorced at 28. So I'm glad to see that, rich little prick get what he deserves. So, anyway, vengeance aside. He always wanted to become a baseball player. And the dude was insane about it. Like, he'd play baseball in school, we'd play baseball in the neighborhood. When we'd go visit this idiot at his parents' house, he always had, like, the baseball channel on. He'd always go to, like the professional sports. Go meet Joe Mauer down at the McDonald's on 3rd. Well, he'll be signing autographs. And people would go there. And then there'd be games, and there'd be after baseball thing. I mean, it was baseball. Guy was completely obsessed with it. Only one problem. Dude was even smaller than me. And so he tried to make it for the majors, and he never did. Never had not a modicum of success. Now, this isn't to say playing baseball isn't fun. It is. I myself intend on joining a league this spring. But what the poor guy did was expend all of his effort and energy only in his youth, and not to mention make it his profession, that he failed. And the problem with pursuing becoming a professional athlete or becoming a equally impressive star of any kind of media fame, musician star, is that you have it depends on the statistics you want to use, a 1 in a 19,000 chance. Some say a 1 in 24,000 chance, right? And that's just making it there. You're not going to be LeBron James, and you're not going to be frickin' Joe Mauer, and you're not going to be Who-Dank Willie Punk and his Shiznits, or whatever the latest rap group is. I don't know. I don't pay attention to rap because it's not music. Oh! Boys and girls, if you want to hear real music, see, this is so sad. Let me provide an aside. What is sad for the black community is you had the best music. You created the best music. It was called jazz. And, throw that shit away. Get figgity fuck and is 3 fuckaroos. And, yeah, bitch whore wench, gotta get me that with the gat. And see, I should become a rapper. I'm so good at it. Anyway, the problem disproportionately young black boys face, but all men, I keep saying it, all young men, all boys in school face, is that you are pushed into thinking you can do anything. And then boys, naturally being boys, gravitate towards professional athletes, because that's what we're told to admire in your youth. You're watching the media and the TV. And musicians, or fame, or stardom, or something like that. Now, you then make the egregious mistake of dedicating your youth and your efforts towards becoming that. But it's more like playing the lottery if you're actually going to get in. You could be a great basketball player. You could be a great baseball player. You could be a great musician. The problem is you're not in the top 1%, which is where you actually start making money. You get accepted into a team or a record label chooses you. So here's what you got to do. I'm sorry, let me tell you the cost. So the cost is this. For every one that gets in, 18,999 don't, and they're left without a hope. They got no real skill. They wasted all their youth trying to throw a sphere into a ring, or throw a cylinder into a net, or swing a stick at a sphere, and then you what do you do when you go in for a job? Well, I can swing the stick at a sphere really good. Not as good as the professionals, but pretty darn well. Well, it's over. You screwed yourself. So what you got to do is there's this one guy, I forget the name of him, but he's at Northwestern, and he's in their football program. And he was majoring in pre-med. And the problem that obviously he ran into is that pre-med is a real discipline, a real degree, and his studies were getting conflicting with his football practice. And the coach says, why don't you change your major? Which is risky, because the guys at college level football, maybe he could go on to the pros, but he ended up, I think, switching down to psychology because it's not a real degree and it's easy as hell. But unfortunately, that's the problem you got to think. Unless you are like top notch, you have to use your youth to educate yourself or get some skill or discipline in another field. So that in the statistical likely chance, the 18,999 out of 19,000th chances, nearly a guarantee that you don't make it into the pros, that you have something to fall back on. And so that's why we should be pushing not just young black men, boys, but all boys into accounting, STEM, engineering, science, math, medicine, nursing, all the different fields and skills and trades, trade school, that should they not make it into the pros, which is very likely, they have a real career to fall back on. And you see this, and this is where I will bring in the race, but you can see, among other things, how this really devastates the black community, because and now I was growing up during Michael Jordan's day, and every white kid wanted to become Michael Jordan. But I wonder how much that devastated the black community, because so many young black boys actually tried to go into basketball because of Michael Jordan. And then when 5, 10, 15 years go by, they're not playing professional ball for the Chicago Bulls. They're what do you do? Sweep streets? I don't know. As opposed if had they gone and studied accounting or something like that. So I don't want to kill anyone's dreams. Certainly play basketball. Certainly play baseball. Certainly become a musician. Like Jacob Gago, look him up. He's doing both. He's pursuing his musical career, the two-pronged approach I talked about before. Look it up. He's pursuing his musical career, but he's also getting a degree in accounting. So if his music career falters or doesn't provide the money by which he can support himself, he's got something to fall back on. So just look out. I know your teacher's going to tell you, do whatever you want. You can achieve your greatest... No, you can't. No, not only can't you, there's almost a statistical guarantee you're not going to. So don't listen to your teachers who are kissing your ass and only see you for 1 year and pass you along so you give them high marks and they get to keep their government job and 3 months a year off. Listen to the asshole, me, who's groggy and sick and pissed off in the morning with his coffee mug from South Dakota, the economist, and have a backup plan, have that insurance. So that's all we got. Talk to you guys later. Toodles.